There are a lot of ways that and you probably have even tried a number of ways to lose weight. You could be starving yourself skinny. You could be intermittent fasting. You could be doing keto. You could be doing low carb. You could be doing Weight Watchers. There's so many ways. Truly the best way for a woman over 40 to lose weight and to keep it off is to really determine right from the beginning your why. Hello and welcome to the Brave Today podcast. This show is going to encourage, challenge, maybe even provoke you to step outside of your comfort zone and take more action to better improve yourself and your health. I'm your host, Mark Avens, and in this crazy upside down world that seems to just keep pushing a narrative for people to become softer, weaker, sicker, unhealthier, and more dependent than ever, the goal and number one intent of this show is to help you navigate through this so that you can become braver today than you were yesterday. So welcome to today's Q&A, question and answers. A lot of times questions come up regarding health, fitness, weight loss, and there's a couple of them that just keep seeming to pop up to the surface. And because I work mainly with women, although these Q&As could be questions that men have as well, I'm going to simply go through some of the most frequent questions that I've heard in the past week, and I'm going to answer those so that this potentially could help you on your pathway to a healthier, fitter, and braver today than you did have yesterday. So the first question, and let me just give you kind of the background. Over the past 2.5 decades, almost 3 decades now, it's aging myself back to when I first started personal training in 1995. It started my fitness career. I actually were really just fresh out of water. I had no idea how to help anybody get in shape. I knew how to use some exercise equipment and some free weights, and I learned how to teach a spin class here or there, and to maybe, push some dumbbells around. But honestly, I didn't have a clue until I really started to get down into starting to work one-on-one with people. And the majority of the clients I've worked with over the better part of my entire fitness career have been women. So a lot of times the questions come up like, how do I get in better shape? How do I lose weight? And those questions don't seem to go away, but there are answers, and I want to help you today. So if you're that woman that's maybe struggling to lose weight, and the majority of women that, because I'm in my 50s, the majority of people that I connect with are people in my season of life, in their 40s, 50s, 60s, even some a little bit older than that. So those questions come up. So it made sense as somebody who wanted to pursue a fitness career to be able to solve those problems and answer those questions for people. So today I'm going to share with you some of the top 3 questions that come up and answer those. The first one, we'll just dig right in. So the first one is, what is the best way for women over 40 to lose weight? So really, there are so many ways to lose weight. And unfortunately, it's really a hard question to answer, but I'm going to do my best to answer, because there are a lot of ways that and you probably have even tried a number of ways to lose weight. You could be starving yourself skinny. You could be intermittent fasting. You could be doing keto. You could be doing low carb. You could be doing Weight Watchers. You could be doing weight loss programs prescribed by doctors. You can be doing some kind of old school diet. Maybe you did something way, way back. Maybe it was something like cabbage soup diet, or maybe, do you remember that one? Or maybe it was where you did low fat, diets. Maybe you did a fat free, you just avoided all fats together. Maybe you did those HCG pills. There's so many ways, but you want to know. And the question here is, what is the best way for women over 40 to lose weight? And I want to add to that question, because I think for me to answer it, it would only be advisable for me to give you an honest answer if I can add to that. Now, what's the best way for a woman over 40 to lose weight and to keep it off, to be able to sustain the weight loss and never have to worry about your weight forever? I think that's probably the real question that most women have. How can I lose weight over 40 and not put it back on, right? And even for some that I've talked with and even worked with that have had surgery, that have literally had it surgically removed off their body, that's not honestly the best way. In fact, it's one of the worst ways, but we're not going to get into that. Truly the best way for a woman over 40 to lose weight and to keep it off is to really determine right from the beginning your why. Why do you want to get this weight off? And there's lots of reasons. You might want to fit in that black dress. You want to maybe look sexier for your spouse. Maybe you have some health issues. Maybe there's medication that doctors have been kind of saying, hey, if you don't get your act together, you're going to have to go on those. Regardless of what that is, you have to first and foremost be in touch with why you are losing the weight. Why do you want to be a certain weight? Let's just say, for instance, your goal is to be 125 pounds. Why do you want to be 125 pounds? Maybe you don't even know. Maybe that's the problem that you're having and why you can't seem to get the weight off and keep it off, because your why is not strong enough. Now, I know for a number of the women, I'm going to share with you some of the powerful whys that women in our program that I've worked with for some, a year or two, others that I've been in touch with, even some of the people I've worked with in the past. I know they're able to keep the weight off forever, over 40, over 50, over 60, 70, even some over 80. And they're able to actually just not even worry about their weight anymore because they have a strong enough why to not put the weight back on. And that's the key. And honestly, losing weight, there's a skill set involved. So the biggest skill set is how can you develop a why strong enough that can remove all of the excuses. So for instance, I have one of our coaches who was a client and started, and her powerful why was so that she can get down and play with her grandchildren. She can get down on the ground and get back up and be a part of their life, really help out, be a participant, not somebody that just sits on the sidelines and watches. So that's one. Another one is another client that I've worked with before, just off the top of my head, and she has a family who really weren't all that healthy. So her why to get this weight off, the best way for her, because once she gets that established, she wants to get this weight off so that she can be a great advocate and actually be the model in her family for good health, so that her family actually sees that and wants to actually be healthy as well. And that doesn't always happen, but it is a strong enough why. Because once you get that dialed in, then the other parts, you're going to figure out what's going to work, what doesn't work. You're going to learn from your mistakes, because you're always going to be reminded, not how much you weigh or what the scale is telling you to believe. It's going to say, okay, like my why is so strong, nothing's going to stop me from getting this weight off. And once it's off, then you realize that, yes, I have it off, and now I'm able to do these things. I'm able to get down on the ground and play with my grandchildren. I'm able to be a good advocate. I see the changes in my family because I'm doing the work first, right? Those type of things. And I'm not to say that it can't be even superficial either. It can't be like, hey, I just don't want to be like the rest. Like, the bottom line is the majority of our country are just getting fatter and fatter and fatter. And this is by no means a fat shame anybody. It's just the truth. Our society as a whole is more overweight and obese than ever before. It's, I think, over 50% now. It's no wonder why doctors are really making a lot of money off of prescribing weight loss medication. And, the sad truth is it's not a solution, and that's not the best way either. So again, I'm adding to the question of what is the best way for a woman over 40 to lose weight. But more importantly, I don't know, you can feel free to share your thoughts with me if you feel that you just want to lose weight and then you'll deal with the rest after, or are you the type that I deal with all the time? Mark, I want to lose weight and I want to keep it off forever. You have to add that on there in order for me to answer that question, which I said, really the answer to it is to truly figure out and to dial in on what your why is, and be reminded of that every single day. Tell yourself, look, if I don't do this, I'm going to go on medication. Hey, if I don't do this, I'm not going to have confidence in my own skin. If I don't do this, if I don't take this weight off, I'm going to not be a good advocate. My family's probably going to go in the direction that I'm headed down, which is not a good direction of poor health. It could be even the grandparent that said, you know what, if I don't do this, I won't be able to really be a part of my grandchildren's lives. So think about those things. That's question one. Hope that answers the question. Number two, the second question: what is the most important exercise a woman should do after 40 to keep the pounds off? So let's just say you're a woman over 40 and you're thinking about exercise. You're thinking there's got to be, is it squats? Is it lunges? Like, is it high intense exercise? Honestly, it's so much easier than you think. And I'm not going to get bashed for this, because I believe it is something that I've found to be truly a game changer in so many women that have helped over the years that are over 40. that want to keep the pounds off. And it has to do with becoming more active. You have to realize that our natural inclination as we get older, just because of the expectations as we get older, is to slow down and to do less and to be less active. And hey, you're not like you used to be. You're not as young as you used to be. It's okay. You know, you've done your time. You worked out enough. The bottom line is there is really one exercise, and it is to keep moving. But honestly, it's even easier than that. Just walk. Walking is probably one of the most underutilized activities. If you have two legs and you're able to get out there and walk, and it doesn't mean you have to go walk a marathon, but I can say is if you decide you want one exercise, if there was one exercise that I could do the rest of my life to keep the pounds off, there's a lot, and I like exercise. I like the bike, and I like the snowboard, and I like the hike. But if there was one exercise that I'd have to do the rest of my life, it's walking. What's really great about walking is going to not only help you develop a better metabolism, it's going to also help to keep your joints and your body moving. And it's not maybe like going and working out hard in the gym and doing strength training or doing a spin class and really feeling that sweat. But the good thing is, for the most part, you don't need any money to go walking. Like it's not going to cost you really anything aside from having a good pair of walking shoes, tennis shoes, sneakers, if you will. But those are the things, if you can get out and you can move. And one of the key parts of our Brave coaching program and our Freedom 8 is actually our women. We ask them to work up to 10,000 steps. And you're like, why 10,000? Well, again, that's just the baseline. 10,000 is approximately 4 to 5 miles. And again, if you do the math, if whatever amount of time it takes you to do that, chances are it's going to encourage you to move more, which is going to be better for you and your metabolism and your health. And, you know, when we sit around, you think about like stagnant water, you think about like a pond, right? Versus a running stream or a river. You pond, it gets stagnant, it develops mold, it kind of like smells. Like that's kind of what's happening to your body when you move less. So obviously anything is going to be good for you for your health and to keep the pounds off as far as activity. But the most important exercise that you can actually start today with is just to start walking a little bit more. Maybe if you've tracked your steps, if, you know, we have phones now that track our steps, and there's apps and there's watches and all those types of things. But heck, you can just, you know, make it a point to track how long you're walking for. You know, today I walk for 20 minutes. Well, maybe tomorrow you walk for 30 minutes. Maybe over the weekend, you're able to get in an hour walking. Well, what's to say the next weekend you can't get in an hour and 20 minutes? Guarantee you, the more that you move, the better you're going to feel. And the better you feel is going to allow you to be able to take that weight. Or you're going to be more conscious. If you take better care of yourself and you move more, chances are you're going to be a little more mindful. Now, you don't want to use that you're moving more or walking more as an excuse to eat more calories. Again, that's a lot of times what gets in the way. But truly, if I were to give one most important exercise a woman should do, or a man for that matter, actually anyone, even kids these days, is truly just to keep walking, keep moving, and to walk. Just walk. You can walk brisk, you can jog a little or run, but walking is actually been proven to have just as good a benefit as running. So keep that in mind. Number 3. So we're on the question number 3, and that is, how long will it take me to lose 20 pounds? And that question I've answered so many times in the past, and it is one of the top questions that's still, how long is it going to take for me to get this 20 pounds off? And the quick answer to that is, it's as long as it's going to take. Again, back to like the question that I first asked, what is the best way? When it comes to how long it's going to take, you got to ask yourself, how long have you had the 20 pounds? You may have more or less. You can put in the number that you're struggling with right now. If you have 20 or 40 or maybe even 80 or 100 pounds, how long will it take to lose and fill in the blank pounds? And that just depends on, first, what you're bringing to the table in the beginning. Do you have a lot of past history of dieting? And do you have a skill set of ups and downs and yo-yo roller coaster ride? If that's the case, chances are it's going to take a little bit longer. You may know how to lose to 20 pounds, hey, if you starve yourself, if you eliminate all delicious food out of your life, if you remove all the alcohol, the sugar, and all the fun, essentially, again, you're going to realize that you can probably get the 20 pounds off pretty quickly. In fact, there's medications now and there's weight loss gummies and injections and things that can have you drop 20 pounds super quick. So like if you're trying to do that before a cruise or something, or before a wedding, or you have like some event and you just want to lose it short term, then you probably need to stop watching this and listening to this podcast right now. I'm actually more interested in helping people who, not just how quickly we can get it off, but how can we keep that weight off forever? So how long will it take? Let me just break it down to essentially like a safe parameter for losing weight is 1 to 2 pounds per week. And if you just break that down into calories, if you want to know, and you can go look this up, it's about 3,500 calories for a pound of fat. So if you're trying to remove some fat off your body, you think 3,500 calories. Somehow, if you're trying to lose a pound a week or say 2 pounds a week, it's either 3,500 or 7,000 calories. That has to come from somewhere. Certainly you can get on a treadmill and walk for hours and hours and hours. It's going to take you forever to lose that. Or you can look at how your lifestyle is. What are your eating choices? Are you drinking enough water? Are you dealing with stress? These are the things. How are your sleep habits going? Like, what are your hormones? Like, what is going on there? Like, if you put all the emphasis on one thing, if you put it just on working out, then it's going to be really hard. If you put it just on dieting, it's going to be really hard. If you're blaming just your hormones and think that's going to be the trick, then you're really missing out. So while you're in the pursuit, how long, if you just think in terms of energy in, energy out, which is calories in, calories out, right? You have to think about the fuel that comes into your body again. And you're like, well, Mark, I don't really eat that much. And I can't seem to lose any weight. But then chances are there's probably something related to how inactive you are. Probably whatever you're consuming, even if it's a little bit of calories, 600,000-800,000 calories, and you're seeming like, Mark, I'm still not losing weight, and I've restricted all the food. I'm eating only 800 calories a day, and I can't seem to lose weight. Well, chances are you're probably sitting at a desk. You're not moving at all. You're not active. You're not walking, and it's probably why. But to answer the question, because I did digress a little bit, how long will it take to lose weight? So let's just say 1 pound a week, and 1 pound a week is 3,500 calories. So you break that up into 7 days, and now we're talking very, very general here speaking. 500 calories a day deficit, 500 calories Monday through Sunday, not Monday through Friday, because if you were trying to lose weight, you got to work on the weekends, not just during the week. So if it's 7 days in a week and if you remove 500 calories per day or burn it off or eliminate, if you have a deficit of 500 calories, it's going to be 3,500 calories. It's a good estimate, kind of a raw estimate to start from. So again, somehow 3,500 calories is going to need to be for you to lose a pound a week. If it's 2, you got to do, again, double that, right? So 1 to 2 pounds per week. And if you do the math, if you're trying to lose, say 1 pound a week and you're trying to lose 20 pounds, it's going to be 20 weeks. If it's 2 pounds, you're like, well, of course, I want to lose 2 pounds a week. And then that's about 10 weeks. So you think about 20 pounds is about 2.5 months. Now, can you lose the weight faster? Right? Of course, because I want to lose the weight. I want to lose the weight like in 48 hours, right? Because I got date night with my spouse and I want to look good, right? I get it. The problem is you're going to set yourself up for failure, because what's going to happen is you're going to do something probably extreme. You're going to get, your body's going to go through changes. You're going to get frustrated. Maybe you didn't lose the 20 in 4 days and you lost 6, and you're like, but I only lost 6. And it was really hard to lose the 6. So chances are you're going to fall off track. You can put that weight back on, and you're probably going to eat your emotions, because we know a lot of times when stress works its way in, like for a lot of women who diet, can I get an amen there? For a lot of women that diet, that a lot of times stress plays a factor. Your body goes through the changes. You're eliminating food groups, right? You're restricting. You're getting frustrated. Your body's going through changes. Now, your body does have to make change, but the bottom line is, if you try to do it too quickly, Mark, I've been struggling with my weight for the same 20 pounds for the last 8 years. Yes, but I guarantee you, the only reason why you're still struggling is because you're so worried about how quick it comes off and how quickly you can get it off and how little work it's going to take, when you got to realize it has to be a skill set that you develop. Like losing weight should not be a skill set. Becoming healthier needs to be a skill set you develop. And that takes time. And actually, in fact, it takes your whole life. Because as you grow and develop and you learn from your mistakes and you get this weight behind you, then you got to look at what's in the future. You might have something that's coming up in the future. You may have some life changes, right? As you get divorced or you change jobs or you move, your family, your kids dynamic. Now your kids are now, instead of teenagers, they're now in college or they're now starting their own families. And there's going to be a different lifestyle that may change. You have to learn how to adapt. So again, as you're taking this off, think about if it's 1 pound a week, to answer the question, it's going to be about 10 weeks, 8 to 10 weeks. And you may see quick, you may see 2-3 pounds come off in the first week. You'll be like, wow, with this pace, I should be able to lose this. It's not how it works. It's not, okay, if I lose 3 pounds this week, I'm going to lose 3 pounds next week. And that's the way I'm heading in. That's just not how it works. In fact, if you put too much emphasis on the scale, on pounds on the scale, and you give it that much power, it's going to steal the power from you, especially when you're transforming, you're changing shape, you're exercising, you're making better habits, your cholesterol is dropping, you're getting better sleep, you're dealing with your stress, all those benefits of taking care of yourself and losing weight the proper way. You have to look at those non-scale wins. In fact, I just talked about it inside of our coaching program with some women saying, I only lost this much this week, or I only did this. Realize that this is something that is a total, think about the totality for why you're losing weight. There's a bigger picture than just to see the scale go down 20 pounds from, say, 180 to 160. If I can get to 160, then it'll be just amazing. The bottom line is you have to develop a skill set for where you're at now and start to be proud of the things that you're doing to stack your wins, so that when the 20 pounds comes off, you're not left kind of disappointed, like, oh, well, I don't really see the changes. Like 20 pounds are down. I thought it was going to be better than that, right? You're going to disappoint yourself. I guarantee it happens all the time. So don't worry about how long it takes. Honestly, key in on your why. Back to question number 1. For the woman that's over 40, the best way is to dial in with your why. Just to recap. Question 2 is the most important exercise a woman should do after 40 to keep the pounds off. And we shared that was walking. And then number 3, how long will it take to lose 20 pounds? And again, just breaking down, if you're a numbers person, a pound a week, 3,500 calories. A pound a week is about 3,500 calories, 500 calories a day. If you're looking at numbers, again, the only way you're going to get that dialed in is if you're actually really tracking your food you eat. And that's really hard to do if you don't have a method. Fortunately, in our program and over the years, I've developed the best method for women over 40 to track their progress, the easiest method, and it's foolproof. It allows you to have so much more freedom in your life to not have to weigh your food or count calories and those types of things. And again, if it's a pound a week, if you push a little bit more, then you want 2 pounds a week, you're looking at about 7,000 calories. So you're going to have to be really active and be really dialed into your nutrition. So aside from that, these are the Brave Q&A questions of the day. I hope you enjoyed this episode of Brave Today with Mark Avens, and I hope you have an amazing, blessed one. Take care.